take notes on your phone or in things when I'm talking about, or maybe you want to ask questions after that, good enough. So I just want to say it is your damn duty, right? And we are going to do it. We are going to be better at the end of these demonstrations to know we are capable of stretching ourselves beyond our last known capabilities to well beyond. Give me a high five on that. Thank you for participating. Give me a high
Thank you
five.
very much.
Thank you for participating. Now you guys are going to be in the next demo, alright? Now what's the next demo?
थोड़ा hard आता है, हमारे easy था.
So now, what is the next thing? Once you've understood, yes, it's possible. I should remove these limitations once I go on the stage. I know I can capture your attention and I can impart my things in a simple, direct way that they can connect and say, I can do that. And you even gave me a little bit of a hand clapping also at the end of it because you got something out of it, right? If I keep giving in the way you are willing to take it, then it's a good thing. That was demonstrated. Now I want to demonstrate the next thing is, before I came, and I want to call this, what shall I call this? I'll call this prior setting. You can call it anything. But I want to demonstrate what I mean by that. Before you start your talk, you are called at Hotel Marriott in London, okay? You land the previous evening. Have you done your prior setting? Because it's an important talk at the Marriott there. So many people are being called, 100, 200 people are called, right? And you want to make an impression. Are you just going to go there the next morning, hey, 10 o'clock, here I am at 10 o'clock, please introduce me, let's get started? No. You do something like what I did. And what I did was, I went outside and I did something which I'll talk later on about, which is the walk, talk, mind map system. So that I'm sitting and they're talking, but we're not talking about something else. And this talk, believe me, they just said 3 days back. And I really am in a tizzy right now because my wife just told me I was to extend my stay. I said I got so much, people are asking me to help on this, that I'd like to do it. I'd like to stay beyond November. And she just called me and she said, yes, fine by me. So I was all set to, be here. And today she just called me yesterday morning and said, sorry, you'll have to spend $800 to make your change of date. I said, forget it, I'm coming back in November, no problem. But the reason I'm saying that is, I had no time to prepare this. My mind was on how to change my whole thing. But because of my so many times of practice, I was able to do what I'm telling you to do, which is do the prior setting. I came here, there was nobody here. Abhijit also had gone home. What did I do? When you were sitting, where I had done it in a way, I rearranged it. I said, okay, this looks like the place where I can be, where they can all sit. If I stand here, maybe, but here if I stand, I've got the nice view, so they don't have to look at me, they'll be looking at the wall. I said, this is the better. I did the whole setting, what I call your prior set. So understand that it's your job to make sure when you go there, not to depend on the organizers or the audience. Know your audience, know there are 100 people, there are 10 people, it could be 10,000. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm on the giving side. I have to make sure that the organizers have done it. I don't wait at last minute. I say, hey, listen, I'm here. Is everything good? Yeah. Can I come down and have a look? And you check the mics, you check the lighting, you check the audiovisual, when you put your laptop, it's working. This, you understand what I don't need to go into detail, right? In other words, this prior set must be done so that there are no ugly surprises. Oh my God, this is not working. Excuse me. Sorry. What is all this rubbish? You could easily have had the respect for your audience and done this prior set. It's your duty to make sure that happens, correct? So that's wrong. There's another aspect to the prior setting, and that has nothing to do with this. It is to do what every great speaker does. Let's start with Tony Robbins. You've been to Tony Robbins, right? And I think you know what he does. I don't ask you to go to the extreme. But I went out there just now, before coming in. When I came in, I said, hello, hello, hello. What did I do before that? I got into the zone. I started to pump myself up. So there's the prior setting and the pump up setting. I pumped myself up. And you know what I was doing there? Okay, you guys get up and do it with me. Okay, and here goes. Because you have to get the energy level going. So I'll tell you what I was doing there. I don't know whether you can see me. You naचने का नहीं. You're not moving. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And what am I doing? I'm knocking off my fears. I'm knocking off my incompetencies. I'm knocking anything that went wrong in the past, and I'm ready for a great session. See? But you can't. You understand? You've seen it. You've seen it. He goes on. He gets into cold water. I don't know what other things he does. But इतने में तो थक गया. ये भी सोच रहा था. But I, much older than you.
Actually, we were observing you. We were observing you, how we were feeling your energy.
Yes, yes. And so when I come in here, I'm energetic. I can't help but be. I've got my thing already going. It just needs to flow. All the zone does is increase your flow. What does the zone need? I'm in the zone. What is that state of mind? Can someone explain to me? He's in the zone. I shall works. And Tony Robbins, Les Brown, all these guys that you have heard of, they do not come. Somebody went to visit Les Brown once, and he was waiting, and he could hear going. And after some time, what was that noise? What did that mean? What will you? I'm standing in front of the mirror, practicing the stuff that I'm going to give. So people like Les Brown, and they can do that. And I have no problem. I'm not in the best of health, but if I am to get on at least 2 minutes before that, I have to get into
The state.
this power state. If I'm in the power state, the energy starts to flow out, and then I'm quicker into the zone. So what is the zone? The zone is where you launch into what you want to communicate, and you are into it in a short time, and because of the energy level, it is flowing so peacefully. You can be in the zone when you're writing. I do a bit of writing, so I get myself started. After 2 minutes of writing, I'm in the zone. I don't hear anything. You know, earlier there was the cow with the crow. Now it's gone, it's faded. You know, the tea was there. I've forgotten, it's going cold. I'm in the zone. I'm in flow. And when that happens, whether it is Tony Robbins or you, everything is coming together smoothly, easily, and enjoyably. The zone is when you're enjoying it and time seems to fly. And you say, what, already? Because you're in the zone. So one way is to get your energy levels moving. And as I said, I'm not inventing this. These big names do it. I just did it a little while before I walked in, and you saw I had it. And I'm still on that energy level, still going. So, now that we've done that.
You want me to make the fan slow?
No. But my condition gets me with a lot of block. I can't tell you all the issues, but they're overcome because I got into this way. I got a lot of itching and all side effects that I have. But doesn't matter when I'm coming to that, I'm somebody else. Like you say, you're looking good. I am looking good.
When did you say
Hell, I'm looking, give me
Before you can.
more, hard. Arey, kya? Hard.
What does it?
Hard.
You're looking a He-Man. Looking good and all.
Like what's his name? That actor, Will Smith. Will Smith says, either he will get off the treadmill, we are both on treadmills, either he will get out of the treadmill or I will die. अभी मानने का मार सारा, because I'm in this one, you know, I have
Yes.
got it in me, I'm that thing, I don't care, do or die. I'm going to give a damn good presentation here, I'm going to demonstrate, I don't care what it costs me. Because I have to get into these guys' brains. I have to go past this amygdala here in front. It says, watch out, look at this, is this safe for you? No, I have to go to the prefrontal cortex, I have to make the synapses work, and I got it. Yes, you see, yes, I got it. Do you get what I'm trying to say about flow? Everybody got what they find flow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Only
Give me a
one-
high five!
Yes.
Yes!
Only one focus we should have.
Yes.
How to enter the audience's, connect with the audience.
Yes, but it is your energy
Yes.
that goes out and makes the connection. You're very correct. So
They
let
say
me
that
tell
you set the energy of the room. The speaker
Yes.
sets the energy of the room.
Yes, exactly. So how does the speaker get that energy? By pumping himself up and saying, I am ready for this. It's a challenge that I am getting one more opportunity to do. Correct? When I was on the road, it wasn't so. I just like everybody, but I come in here and I see you're that is superstar. You've got to be. You've got to be. For 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever this talk is, you are there. And that energy is going out and you're getting it back by your smiles, your love, whatever. Okay. Now, I was saying I'm going to demonstrate one more. Every one of these things is a practical thing. What I'm doing now is nothing, no theory. Are you getting theory or are you getting me seeing doing practical?
Practical.
Practical. Now you know what, I go outside and I tell you guys, because you say, I don't know, I've got so many points, I don't know whether I remember it. So I tell you what I do. I come in here and I'm walking in and I'm doing my top walk. I'm demonstrating my top walk. I say yes, 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 yes. What did I say yes to?
To the people around.
No.
No, the points what you want to speak.
No. So, the points that I want to speak, I'm not sure. Because I practice, but I'm, like you said, different talents. I'm not that talented with a good memory, let's say. I still have to make all my points. Because I worked a lot over it, but here it is, if I want, I type my thing, will open and I'll see. I'm not looking at this. I wanted to. I want to take a printout. I said, damn it. Come on. You demo it yourself. As I said, 3 days before this talk, I said, yeah, but you know, demo. How are you going to do this? And I'm going to do it this way. Don't presume what I'm going to say because it's not what it is. Yeah. So I'm talking about a kind of mental map. What is the mental map you know? Can you tell me how?
Mental map is
Mental
how,
map.
Yeah, mental map is how we associate different parts of the speech or something with a particular format or a design that
Yeah. So what happens is you're going to talk about some aspect, let's say take Deepak's favorite subject, investment strategies, right? Investment strategies, when you say, he's making the mind map and he says there can be real estate assets, there can be shares assets, there can be bank account assets, all different types of assets, right? I'm just making up as I go along, but then you're making, in that, in shares you say, mutual funds, well, I don't do much, somebody, other one is, I'm doing it, I do it by trading, again you're in shares, but other guy says, no, that is one part of it, you can explain one aspect, then let's say we take another thing in a different direction from that thing and say assets, how about long-term assets, are you following me? So you have property assets, this assets, insurance also a form of an asset, so you're making a mental map, alright? But you can't remember that I'm mental map guy. वो था उसकी क्या था उसके हाँ म्यूचुअल फंड भी you know instead of which I do the walk talk method. Now you come with me out card and we are going to demo this. Don't do the mental map. Do a walk talk map. Now see, this is not your friend. Maybe I should take a message because this is you can think when I'm talking, Alka, you think of your head.
Okay.
Oh, Abhi. So look how Abhi gets it all very nice. Because Abhi already knows his home. He knows he can't come through the window. Can he?
Huh?
Can he come to the window when he comes here? No. He presses the bell there on the outside door. Am I right? Imagine you're out of it, you can actually go out, and you come here, and then you see something there, right? And then you're coming up here. And then when you walk in here, he sees Gautam Buddha. Are you getting me? And then he goes further and he sees this trees or whatever. He knows this layout. Is it going to change? Your mental map can jumble up and all that, but this will never change. So I'm demonstrating a simple way which you must now use in your next talk.
Visual map.
The walk talk in your own home, some place that you cannot go wrong, you have to go from here. Let's say when you walk in, you see the TV. Make that number 2 or number 3. Then make Buddha number 4. Make that. And you know that is the way, because you're walking, that's how you actually see it. Are you getting me? Now you attach the points here. Okay? Like my first talk was, this is nothing about content. It's all about delivery. So what am I doing? The trick is, when you go to 1, 2, 3, 4, you dramatize it in a very unusual way, which you cannot forget. For instance, I'm coming at the door and I got a bag, I open the bag, there's nothing. In other words, there's no content. So I connected that first step with the first step I was talking to you. Get it? Right? Now my next step, which I'm going to say now, after I've done that, and also when I said that I came to my thing here, so I say the next thing I see is a drug or something, I'm going to fall. What did I do? Promptly fell on the thing and went to sleep and slowly I go to sleep. Right? That was the next step in my talk. I didn't miss it. There's no way I can miss it. My third step is going to be something that I call meditate. No, nothing better than Gautam Buddha, no?
Yeah.
To talk about meditation. You see him like that, right? But I'm going to make him a laughing Buddha with a big tummy. So I can't forget that Buddha. Right? He's going ho, 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 ho. Can you forget it? So you know you've gone through 1, 2, 3. There's no way you can mess up. There's no way I can mess up. I could have been talking about some issue of his, and I can talk to the last minute and they say, chalo yaar, 5 minutes start. I said, when I start? Because I already know this place. It's my home. I just associated and made something very unusual out of it. That it makes sense. You get me?
He knows his home one.
You know your home.
But how do I should
You know
forget,
your home.
the content
So in your
of-
home, when you come there, that's what homework you have to do when you're making your talk. You say, okay, supposing this was your home, you say, I'm looking at the TV. Now out of the TV, let's say, what is your subject? that you
Mindset
deal with?
transformation.
Huh?
Mindset transformation.
Mindset transformation. Okay, and what is your main first point in that? Or second point? When you say mindset, you don't say mindset, you say something and then something and then something, right? Like Deepak would say, let's look at your total. First look at where you are, right? To list of your assets, whatever. Something you may go there, right? So let's look at it. Let's take Deepak's case. Okay? Huh? And then you have some guy, maybe his banker, whom he knows, saying, show me your books of account, what are your assets? And he's watching it on a TV set. Correct? Then he comes to Gautam Buddha and says, now think, right? Do you want to remain like this, or you want to go, ho, 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 I got money? So what? So he's doing it in his way for his thing. But it's not a mind map. It's a walk, talk map. You walk at each space, you say, okay, I got that. Okay, I got that. Oh, a lamp. Maybe that becomes something, or I bring the lamp here. And I know that this is where I go wrong. There's no way I can go wrong. This is my home. I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. If I make the number 2 in such a way, maybe a Rakshas just behind this, I can't forget that image. Make the mental images such that you can remember them. And therefore, this whole walk talk which I just demonstrated thanks to you, you know, this is something that you do. And if you have done that, believe me, you are peaceful. You can smile. Your body language, everything will show. I'm enjoying this. Am I not enjoying anything? I am enjoying this thing. I'm having fun. And this is good. Because that energy is taking your own people. I can see you smiling. I can see you smiling. And that's good. I've got you where I want you, and you have got me where you want me. You want me to deliver the goods in a most powerful way that you will remember. Aren't you remembering what I said just now?
Very much.
There you go. At the end of it, we will recap. But right now, not talking. I said, now you visualize it. Why was this Gautam Buddha? Because he's a meditator. And I said, no. Gautam Buddha will have, see how I'm making it. I'm giving a thought bubble of this. Imagine it, but there are these thought bubbles. Okay? Where the thought bubble is Paisa in this case. So Gautam Buddha, if you say, yes, I must remember to meditate, you're doing something wrong. Because when I meditate, what happened? I go to sleep. You have to visualize, not meditate. Visualize in a way that puts you at peace. Okay? I have to visualize this. I thought please visualize. And therefore what you visualize, you'll be able to activate faster. You'll be able to communicate faster. Okay? So you will visualize it. And after that, you have to communicate it. Okay? So visual communication. You visually communicate. In other words, what you're saying should not be just sentences, but things which can be visualized. I want to see this small amount become a huge pile. Yes, I can visualize. I want to see this little molehill you have got of your assets in 3 years become this mountain. Yes, I can visualize. Are you following what I'm saying? Learn to speak, and when you're visualizing, learn to be able to communicate in visual terms. Because if you just read a book or you hear an audiobook, you retain 10% of it. But when you see a video on the same subject, you retain 65% of it. What a massive jump. Why will you lose out in your talking? Right? Can you take anyone, if you got a subject or you got a subject, and you want to talk about, let's say, a mother's love, alright, which you talked about last, how can you put that in visual terms?
Should I do it?
Yes, please. We are demonstrating here. Listen, this is a workshop. We are doing it. If you want to do it, be my guest. Because that's the only way I know that you've got what I'm saying. Yes. You can make a statement. A mother's love is like this, is all encompassing, it goes beyond herself, and whatever point you want to make, try and put it in visual terms.
So,
Take your time.
are you on a treadmill doing multitasking? I have always been. I remember a time when I pulled my children out of the bed, took them to the shower, and they were crying over there, packed their lunch, fed them, cleaned them, put them in my car. Actually, I didn't have a car. And I took them to the station to catch the train. Actually, this is more the description.
Well, okay, fine, no problem. But no problem. You know how you started? I felt in the beginning I was on a treadmill. Immediately I got what she's getting at. Life just carries on the same bloody thing of plodding and plodding. You're stuck and you're trying to break through what you're stuck in, correct?
Yeah.
And then you broke that down the treadmill into going and reaching them, getting them ready, all that sort of
Yeah,
that you went into detail of it. But that first image was a very good summing up. She is trying to say, get on the treadmill of being a mother and become more out of the box or whatever. Anybody else wants to do it? I only that she gave a good idea of what I mean. Think in visual terms. Not that life is so boring and repetitive. You're on a treadmill. Great.
This
So you
was
got.
an enacting thing or talking?
You don't have to enact it, but in your mind, you have to use words that instead of saying, life is boring, it is the same thing over and over again, you say you're on a treadmill. You know what a treadmill is. So you keep walking and you keep going in the same place. And so that's what she brilliantly said in her opening. And then she digressed into what the treadmill is made up of, which should happen in a talk. Great. But you got the idea. Talk in visual terms. Now, I have the next thing that I want to demonstrate. And that is, let's say, fun. Now imagine instead of 10 people, you have got 200 people. And you are speaking. How will you move? Say any damn thing, on your topic, on not on your, whatever you like to talk on investment, how will you move?
Okay, so I'm still trying to understand your question. What do
My
you mean by
question is-
how
my
will you
question-
means how will you use the
Yes,
stage
your
space?
Exactly.
Okay,
This
take
is about stagecraft.
Okay.
So one thing is how you organize and you come here
Yeah.
and you've got it and now you've got your thing, you know what you're going to say
Yeah.
and you're going to talk in visual terms and now you're actually saying it. What do you do?
Yeah.
The mic is here.
Sure.
Podium is here.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So we've all heard about the phrase money doesn't grow on trees. Have we? Does it? Let me actually prove it to you that money does grow on trees. We've all heard about the story of the Chinese bamboo. Correct?
Yes.
You plant the seed, water it, give it fertilizer. What happens? Nothing. The seed doesn't sprout out of the ground for 6 months, for 1 year, for 3 years, for 4 years. It does nothing. And in the 5th year, bang! 30 to 50 feet in 1 year. What if I could give you an investment option where you put in one amount of money today? You forget it for 5 years. 5 years later, it's a tree. All you need to do is
Brilliant. Now here's a guy who has understood his stagecraft. He doesn't need, now you can take care of the rest of my talk, he'll take over.
Give me money today and then forget it.
Now, thank you very much. Brilliant, brilliant, really brilliant. You know what he did was, he didn't stand still in one place. The first thing is, keep moving. The second thing he did was, does it happen to you? Make the connection. He was absolutely, what shall we call it, textbook. Thank you. I was hoping you'd slip up somewhere so I can, nothing, can't fault the guy.
2 days back. I did a presentation on BNI for my 8 minutes.
There you are.
Nobody else has got a standing ovation in the whole
There you
chapter.
are.
120 people.
There you are. You see, when you give value in the way they want to accept, they don't want to accept you standing just like that. You know, what is that? That is a crime. What is the crime if you guys are detectives and police chaps? What is the crime that is committed when you just stand like that?
Wasting everyone's time.
You can't
No.
connect.
No.
People feel boring.
No.
Boring.
Boredom. Thank you. The one word that is a sin that requires capital punishment for any speaker. Do anything but bore people. Instead of boring you guys, I went, what is Eric doing? He went off to sleep, he's snoring. Was that boring? No. You're wondering, what the hell is he up to, yaar? Huh?
ये कुछ भी कर सकता
कुछ
है.
भी कर सकते हैं और करना भी चाहिए. मरो, short of money. You know, short of do. The audience is not going to judge you that you did something ridiculous. On the contrary, the ridiculousness will get them seeing what you did.
Yeah.
Now, I want to give you an example from one of the smartest guys in the world. Would you like to hear?
Yes.
Who is this smart man? One of the smartest, but with the richest, at one time the richest guy in the world. Who am I talking about? Mr. Bill Gates. So Mr. Bill Gates has made his money and now he's going to give a presentation just like you and me. He's at the same level, but he has done practice and he's got a whole team telling him, aisa kar, aisa kar. You know what he's called? You have to switch that off, my friend. So, he comes here and he drops his thing here and it's a jar. And will you believe it? What he does after that is the very opposite of boredom. He opens the jar and he says, I want to tell you about 200, 300 million people every year suffering from malaria and something needs to be done about it. Because you and I are sitting in places where there are no mosquitoes. So I am opening this jar of mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
so that you get a taste of what those children are. Can you imagine? He opens and the mosquitoes come out. Pandemonium, I mean, after that, there were big guys, you know, Oracle's head says, I'm not sitting in the front of any of these talks.
But I think I remember reading somewhere that these mosquitoes were.
They were harmless.
Yes, they were.
They're
harmless.
harmless.
So he knew that, but he got his jaw-dropping moment. After that, everybody says, Bill Gates, साला क्या कमाल का talk दिया. Got us. Now what do you? Where can we escape? Yeah, the mosquitoes all around us. But he made his point. You guys don't live this. But the kids in India, in the small, African countries, and they're suffering, and there's dengue, and my son had dengue, so I know how bad it is. He barely made his way back to the US. Point made, you understand that? So if you can demo, you have to get the word of mouth.
That is shock and awe.
That is shock and awe. Or what I call a jaw drop moment. Correct? I did that in a way by lying down there. You have to wake up and say, is this what he's going to do for the rest of the talk or what? Go to sleep? You know? And then it becomes something else because you're able to take that and then nobody could forget what Bill Gates had to say. Am I right? But you need to do something. You can do it also with facts and things, but you must, like I said, utilize those facts in such a way that makes sense. You get me? And use whatever is in your power to do it. Whatever you can do. Let's put it this way. What did I do? I got your attention. There was no way you could be born. Now you may not be able to think about it, but I know I can think. Why will I not choose and look at my whole armamentarium? You've got guns and ammunition, and you've got
That's why I
everything.
sing in Bloom.
You get what I did just now? I said, what can I do? Maybe you can sing. Maybe you can sing. And what is the point? I didn't do it just like that. What was I playing?
Of course, I got it. I continue.
Correct?
Yes.
And what am I talking about? Your storytelling. So I connect this, not just to Ichikadana, Bichikadana, I love that, I love this, I'll take Ajit this. जो भी है. Now I want to make my point that you have to make your दास्तान, your story
Yes.
अजीब सा लगना चाहिए, non-boring.
Run of the mill नहीं होना चाहिए.
नहीं होना चाहिए, boring नहीं होना चाहिए. Boring is anything not boring is capital punishment crime. And I took what I had, and I carry this with me because when I sit in a train, what else you do, yeah? You know? Yeah, and guys seem to like it when I'm sitting
Yeah.
around. It's like-
Only thing is, you don't keep a hat.
I'll do that next time. Thanks for that. Thanks for the suggestion. I told you, I'll get something out of
No,
this.
no,
one.
we have a spiritual connection, Eric. I tell you.
I'm giving it, but I'm also
So he's
getting it.
giving money-making tactics only for
Yeah.
Lunch, I have this habit of taking.
I don't know whether you believe in law of attraction or I do, but it has got various, what can you call them, not attraction, but caveats, let's put it that way. How you do it and what you believe and how will it come and where it comes. But it is my energy going out that connected with his energy, or his energy when you thought of it and you done it, and what is happening. And that is hopefully what will happen. Abhijit, isn't this a different talk than what you heard me earlier talk? It has to be. Because the moment I said this is not a talk, Abhijit was in my corner. Abhi dekhte hai ye kya karna hai. This is not going to be a speech. He's painted himself in a corner. In the beginning he said, I know you all know what is a good speech. That you start like this, ये वो template जो है, bullet point देने का, story देने का, वो. We are not going to do that. Because if you do that, I'm going to go to sleep. My talk is not that. My talk is a demo of how you will transfer it from my brain to your brain or your brain to the next brain. Okay? So we are doing well so far. Would you agree?
Yes.
Very good. Okay. So now come to our next point. That Because the thing is, boredom is a crime, what do you have to do? You have to bring variation, like he did. Like he did. You know, in the way he was saying, not at all, here. Then he gave a voice, did it happen? You know, there's a question, waiting whether you will answer or not. Do you know what happened? Eric, you know Chinese bamboo? And I'm nodding. The interaction was there. It was, you know, the Chinese bamboo. If you plant it today, and you plant it and you put fertilizer every day, and you do it day after day, and you do it month after month, and you do it year after year. Look at me, I'm just standing in the absolute wrong way, in the most boring possible way, and I'm just saying, if you do that, then you know what happens? Something miraculous happens. In the 5th year, it suddenly starts to sprout, and within 1 year, so yeah. But here is this guy, going around.
Can we just demonstrate 1 minute?
Let him finish, so we
I
do it
missed
again.
out.
Oh, you, करो.
उनका भी
One
थोड़ा
minute
practice
दिखाओ।
हो जाएगा.
और एक practice कर लो.
Okay.
But go on further. After Chinese bamboo, कुछ बोलना है?
No, but she needs the basic
Yes,
introduction.
yes.
I'll do it again, no problem.
And even I missed your sleeping
Now
down.
next time don't miss. Next time come at 4:30 instead of 5
Yeah.
or 5:30. बराबर है?
So, we all heard about that money doesn't grow on trees, right? Let me actually prove it to you that it does. You heard about the Chinese bamboo?
Yes.
What does it do?
It takes a long time. to
Yeah, you
grow.
plant a seed
Yes.
and then you give it water and then you nurture it. Nothing happens. The seed doesn't sprout out of the ground for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you are wondering, "Ye kya hai? What am I doing? What's going on?" In the 5th year, magic happens. Bang! It grows 30 to 50 feet in 1 year. That is what I can do to your investments.
You know, began again.
We really learned something today.
Yes, yes. So, there you go. Again, he demonstrated 2 or 3 important things. One is, what happens? Nothing happens. Then he said, 1 year. He didn't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. 1 year, pause. 2 years, pause. 3 years, pause. Pauses are a very important aspect of your life. Ensure that you have enough pauses. I am demonstrating right now without saying a word. I am demonstrating. This is a demonstration, believe it or not. Watch me closely. I am demonstrating the power of the pause. Tell me if you got it. Did you get the demonstration?
Yes.
Did you get it? What was it?
We are made to think.
No.
We take a pause.
No, I was actually demonstrating the pause.
You
know
paused
how?
and then you turned around. You
No, you didn't. What was my pause?
Your eyes.
Observation, your eyes.
and the pan of the head.
My eyelids are blinking. My mind is registering a pause. When I open again, I'm seeing the same thing. But the moment my blink happens, my mind is taking those pauses. We do it all the time. And that's the importance and the meaning and the reason for the pause. You get it? When we do it while we are talking like this, can you see? I have already paused 6 or 7 times. The more interesting something is, the quicker we do it too. If more is being said to us, you will notice that people's blink rates increase. The blink rate is a reason that you must also pause, because what you are doing when you blink is in that second, you are quickly micro storing, micro time storing what was last said by Arjun. When he's talking, he's telling me about this problem, maybe I'm blinking. If it is the same old boring thing, I'm not blinking that much. If it is a song that I've heard, I may not even manage it. You get me? So you have to give reason or give an opportunity, and that was my demo. You have to give enough spaces as he was doing, and enough pauses so people get and absorb the important points you're making. Otherwise it becomes overload. You follow? That's why you will also see in serials, when they crack a joke, the laugh track comes. Ha 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 ho ho ho. It's just giving you and me an opportunity to laugh also. मैं तो एक के बाद दूसरा लाया, तीसरा लाया, अरे fourth joke, fifth joke, wait यार. Let us enjoy it. Let us absorb it. You get me? So that's the reason they do it there. That's why we blink, because pauses are necessary for assimilation before we go on to the next. Have I made my point clear?
Yes.
Was that
And he
demonstrated?
also, he gave importance to whoever he looked at. He
That
made
is a
it feel
separate,
special.
that's a separate aspect, which is, but I guess that is the aspect which I was talking about earlier. What will you do here? So it was not just that he was moving and he made eye contact because he could go up to you. But what if you're on a big stage? You're here and there are 2,000 people. You can't go and say what you, right?
So I'll tell you what I did. I'm sorry to break you.
No, that I
So
know what
just
you're going to say, but go ahead, say it.
so just 8 months back, I was invited to speak at Nirma Institute of Management in Ahmedabad. Nirma Institute of Management is the number 2 college you would go to in Ahmedabad if you don't get into IIM. So they called me to speak to their management students, and I'm not even a graduate. Okay. But I was on stage, and there were like these 2.5, 300 students there. I came to the edge of the stage, jumped.
But we're not down now.
Jumped down. It was a 2.5, 3 foot stage. Jumped and walked right up the auditorium. As soon as I jumped, 200 people.
कुछ होता नहीं
They've never. मुझे भी कुछ नहीं हुआ. But nobody has ever jumped in from their auditorium before. They've never seen a speaker jumping. Just to create that awe. And what did I do actually? What you are doing there, you know. I just took a copy of my book. I jumped down, walked up to the auditorium. I'm looking for somebody who wants a book. Nobody got up. अरे बाबा किसको फोकट का बुक चाहिए? Then 20 people rose. Shock and awe.
He's a master. Let's give him another hand because really, he's doing half my job for me. I get to sit down for 3 minutes while he does my job for me. But he's done a great job. Thank you. My point was when you have this vast audience and you cannot jump because you might break your neck. No, you don't want to do that, correct?
Come down to space.
Yeah. So what you will do is you'll pace up. But when I'm at this part of the audience, I'm looking back.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so my own eye
Always at
contact
an angle.
is right at the other side,
Yes.
otherwise I will lose them.
Yes.
These guys I'm close to, so they are watching me very
Yes.
closely, they are with me. And then when I go there and do like this, like that, and all of a sudden I am looking at this part of it, and as far as possible taking a break, fixing on one person and looking eye to eye with him. Because his energy, when he says, oh, he's looking at me, that energy will go around his side. So this is another trick that you will learn to do, and that is go across and go diagonally across and make the
Yes.
connection, and then turn. And it's a very simple matter of swimming or doing like this. Doesn't look unnatural.
You have to use up the stage space. This is not a TED where you are standing at that red dot. You
Even
are
in a
used-
TED,
Yeah, you
you
just
have
look
space enough to move. The guy is not. He can move at least 5, 6.
That much, yeah.
That circle.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Because the spotlight is on you. That is
Yes, yes. So we've understood that. You haven't forgotten visualizing, right? You meditated because you got certain points. The point that I made after that, when you're doing it, don't be boring, that's a crime. In order not to be boring, you are going to make it treadmill. What? Use vision terms for what you're going to say, and then you're going to use the space that you have, and that is what stagecraft is, isn't it? We are using the spaces. Like I said, you used every damn resource available to you. Correct? And if that means, what's wrong with that? You know? I may do that, this guy may come with it, ting, tick, ting, ting. The other day, I was in the train, and this young guy comes and tick, 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 tick. You heard that, no?
Yes.
Gana ga raha hai, magar tick, tick, tick. I took a video of it. I said, I've got to learn to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe for next talk, I'll take this out and people say, what? What is Eric doing, man? He's crazy, man. Tick, 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 tick. Why not? If you can, you have to, you please develop your own armamentarium that works for you.
Yes.
If you can't sing, you can't sing. But maybe you can do tick, 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 tick.
Yes.
And you can always fit that in somewhere.
Yeah.
In other words, what you are doing is so रहा है साला टिक 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 निकल के क्या हो रहेगा, right? So you wake up, you're making the connection by stopping the biggest crime, which is right? So one way of boredom is what Bill Gates did, get that job rocket. Oh my God, mosquitoes, what the hell, you know, correct? That then you got him for the rest of the thing. Rest of the thing they're talking about salam mosquitoes, yeah. Otherwise, if you don't have that and you don't try that, then you do what this guy is doing, moving around, making, and I'm going to show you the various ways in which you can do it, correct? You're making that and you're using your pauses. Please remember to pause. When you pause, the other way to get over, which Deepak also did, but I haven't heard Harish. Harish, I want you to show some way in which you get this boredom factor out of the way. What would you do if something occurs? If it doesn't occur, maybe I'll whisper to you.
Sure.
Come. What do you do when you see that everybody is, you know, and you've got to talk, this poor guy has to follow this guy, but after lunch. And a nice heavy lunch. Especially if this foodie called Abhijit is arranging the lunch, then by that time they're being like that. So what, do you have anything? If you don't, doesn't matter. If you
I do.
There you go.
Quite often times that something that I do during my talks is, even if it's a keynote, what I do is I ask the organizers well in advance to leave a lot of papers, either colored papers, even if not colored papers, a lot of loose sheets on each of the table.
Okay.
So midway, my topic is I speak on playful, which is more
On
on
what?
playful is what I call. This is on organization culture and creativity.
Okay.
So midway down, I would come, I would request each and everyone to like, I said, okay, do you see the papers placed in your table? So people say, yeah. I said, let's do something that, let's forget the topic for a while. Let's get down to doing something. Just pick that paper and write one wish that you've not fulfilled till now.
Oh, okay.
And for now, since you don't have a paper, maybe I would even suggest, just think of one wish that you've not fulfilled.
I got it. I got one.
I'm sure all of us would have
Yes.
one little thing.
Yes,
It
yes.
could be
Of course.
that you've not done till date.
Yeah.
I would make all of them to write it on that paper. And then say, let's do one thing. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to, no need to write your names also. I don't want to know what was your secret that is unfulfilled. It could be crazy sometimes. You know, people write crazy stuff on the piece of paper. I've had crazy where I didn't want to read and I had to leave it behind also. So people write all sorts of stuff. So I said, okay, do one thing. I said, now I take a paper. I said, which
Mine
paper
was, I
please?
want to go to bed with Kim Kardashian.
Now that you have on record.
Don't let this go to my wife.
So I always tell people to let's make it into a paper plane. I make all of them make paper planes. And it says, on the count of 1, 2 and 3, throw it out. I stand right in the front. I said I take my camera out and ask everybody to throw the paper planes in. This is also a little childish desire that a lot of them have. Is in school or college that you always wanted to throw that rocket.
Yeah.
And once they throw the rocket, I tell them that is, and I probably read out those desires of a lot of people, then you'd see that it could be so many times that this guy is a big guy and he says, I want to sing,
Yeah.
I want to play an instrument.
Yeah.
I said, come on guys, how difficult are these? And you won't believe 90% of the things that actually pop out of these things are
Doable.
so simple
Doable, yeah.
and very much doable.
Yeah.
So I said, in life is as simple as that. And so all you need is that little bit of play.
Yeah.
And you've forgotten that play in your
Yes.
life. Bring that play back into your life.
Yeah.
And all these little desires of what will make
Become
you
a
great.
child again. And
Give
then
a
never
big
grow up.
hand, my friend.
Then never grow up.
Let me give you a hug. That helps you last all the way to Chennai.
Yeah.
Harish, give us some more pointers now.
Oh,
Oh,
so,
एक दिन में सब नहीं मिलता है.
अभी इतना चेन्नई से आए
so
तो
I don't want to talk anymore. Because now I got all the demos being done all around me. I just have to sit there and say, Harish, your turn."
अभिजीत का
Abhijit, your turn.
अलका का.
But that's great because we learned something. We learned that the audience doesn't want to do rocket tomatoes again, but they want to show planes.
Paper planes.
And it works in colleges even more.
Yeah.
Because college method, this is like a strict no-no.
Yes.
And I said, right, I actually walk down, I do this, what you do. I actually jump from the stage, I
Yeah.
walk to the students and I say, write all that you want to write.
Yeah.
So ये teacher विचर जो भी लिखना है लिखो. अब तेरा नाम मत लिखना, don't worry. So they get very excited to do this job because they don't get to do it. This is like full on permission to do
I
that in
think the
college.
biggest sin a speaker also does is not connect with the audience or stay away from them physically. It is very important for you to be in their space. That is why I am coming and telling you. I know you know about the Chinese bamboo, but I have to come and ask you in your space.
I want to make one further important distinction. What he did was talking to a Chinese bamboo people, but what he did was very, very subtle, but it was very clever.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what he did. You are talking on an intellectual level. You know this about the
Yes.
Chinese bamboo,
Yes.
but his topic is play.
Yeah.
Fooling
Make
around,
them play,
play
yeah.
to get creative, and it's emanating from that, his creative thing. But look at what he did so nicely.
Made them
He
play.
got them to come on a climate platform, which we don't have with your
Yes,
Chinese thing,
yes.
but we do have because we are all in school,
Yes.
and all of us have that common thing where
Yeah.
we made
Paper
paper
plates,
planes
yes.
and we threw them.
Yes.
So his connection was at a different
Yes.
level. He was far more effective because he got to a level where everybody can buy it.
Yes.
Connect with the audience.
Yes.
Everybody, without exception.
Mm.
So whether he was aware of it or not, he has done the ultimate, and I'm so happy that he gave this demo because he gave the ultimate of it. Not only that you connect, but you connect at the lowest common denominator so that everybody connects. Give him a big hand, guys. You made the point that I wasn't able to make. I mean, you made it, but I was able to add some insight
Sure,
onto
very,
it,
very well.
which I hope was worthwhile because then that's the only reason otherwise he can take away. But he can't take away my stage from me. I have it.
I know you
I
had that
own
energy.
it.
You did that energy
Yes.
dance and gymnast, so
Yes.
no one can take it.
I don't know whether you saw it, maybe you did, but I'm doing it again because I have given, but nothing has really gone away. I still have it. I've given, I've included, I gave him a hug just now. All that is happening, and I still have it. And one good thing that I want to show you what he did, which I would have done a little differently. Okay? Now here's another trick which he has part demonstrated. What did he do? He gave all the pieces of paper, alright? And he then said, I want you to write. Okay? Now he still has another 5 minutes of his talk, like I got 5 minutes more. But what I would then do that is do what I call the loop method. Now what is the loop method? You don't know.
Then he
Anybody
calls all
knows?
the points.
Yeah, no. You know what I mean by loop?
Connect to the
So we have something. We open a loop, and the mind is not happy with open loops. It wants to see resolution.
Conclusion.
It wants to see resolution. Till that resolution happens, you are going to sit through even a bad movie. Another 1 hour, 45 minutes till you see the ending of it. वो मरा तेरे को मालूम है वो मर भी जाएगा मगर मरा के ना you're sitting there. It's a bad, very stupid movie, but your loops have not been resolved. So what I would do, if you can see the value of what I'm saying is, when you do the next time you do something like this, leave the loop open. Don't ask them to do it because then that ends it. Now you've got your planes, I want you to hang over it. Hang on to it because I want to tell you about this, then the other. And then you make your point and expound
Close
it.
the loop at
Then
the
you
end.
close the loop at that
At
point
the end.
after you. Because then they are watching, very papers in my hand, yeah, when do I get to throw it? When do I get to throw it, right? They are waiting, watching, अभी फेंको नहीं, अभी ये है, वो ऐसा है, और ऐसा है, और ऐसा है. Make sense?
Yeah.
You're getting something out of this, my friend?
Yeah, definitely.
Happy you came?
Yeah.
Happy you gave up the India-Pakistan?
I bring it closer towards the end only.
Nothing much to
So,
use.
ensure that your talk has meaning. Okay? I did mention about when I went to school, etc., and jaw dropping. I could have held the thing that Bill Gates did it in a marvelous way. And I'm going to tell you when I come down to it, but first I want to talk this. And then you would still be listening. Bill
बिल
Gates,
गेट्स ने क्या किया?
Bill Gates ने कमाल किया. ये सुनना चाहिए. You're stuck on your bloody seat for another 5 minutes till I say, okay, Bill Gates. अच्छा मौसी. You get what I mean? So we have just demonstrated two things. One is what he said. And the second thing, is the loop aspect of it. Do your activity, which gets them into it, but also see, can this be an open loop which helps me to retain their interest till I'm ready to close the loop. Okay? So that is the way you bring variety, and this, otherwise it is, what is the sin?
Boredom.
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 Now before I get boring, I like to end this by saying the last one thing. I mean, they can go on talking, but one important thing is the use of humor.
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 Okay? The best speakers are also the guys who inject humor and smile. I came in smiling, but now my smile is fading. I'm tired, etc. And so the smiles also. So you have to find a way to inject something that is humorous. What is the way to do it?
Crack a joke.
Crack a joke is exactly not the way to do it. Okay?
Something funny when you're talking
Ah.
about that particular situation.
Ah.
Make it more funny.
Now we are getting it. Okay? If you crack a joke, two things. I heard that joke before. How is it relevant?
And never say I'm going to tell you a joke.
And I never said, maybe you heard this one before. Arey, chodo yaar, you just say it and let it fall where it does, but don't crack the joke.
Preamble that.
You have to find a way to make your speech humorous without the joke. A lot of people start and say, I don't know how to start. Let me tell a joke. Exactly the wrong way to do it. Never start a talk with a joke. However interesting and easy it may be, you are taking them off a tangent and then they are laughing around, and the whole energy, you see the energy I came and what happened? If I told a joke, you would have laughed and he would have gone on, and I would have missed you all, and then to get you all back to that starting point, difficult. So do not crack jokes. If you can, don't crack jokes. But you can be humorous. And that means you work a little bit and get the point of that joke into this. President Reagan was called the great communicator. He was a stage actor.
Yeah.
He was not a stage actor, he was a cinema actor.
Movie actor.
He used to act
Western
very-
movies.
Western movies and stupid movies with chimpanzees. My Life with Bonzo. Can you imagine the future president of United States? My Life with Bonzo the chimp. वो उसका काम था. The future president of United States of America, and getting the bloody, Cold War and all that settled.
Ukraine
उसका कहाँ से
president.
शुरुआत? From his ability to tell stories. Because he could tell stories, he got the whole SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild, of which he was a member. That was his first political base. Then he built on that and he became the governor of California. And he built on that only mainly stories. Stories. He could tell stories and make everybody, even when he was in a jam, he would tell a story. He was in his 80s and he's up against Walter Mondale, who is much junior to him and is saying this old fart, excuse my language. You want to make him president again? ठीक है, एक term हो गया. I mean, बुढ़ा हो गया है, छोड़ो. You know what this guy says? I know age has come up in this campaign, but I will not let the inexperience of my opponent come in the way of. I will not let the inexperience of this guy who is 30 years less experienced than me come in the way of you guys choosing the right guy. Don't let that come. देखो कैसा he took a leverage and took the lever. और what did he do? He did a jujitsu बोलते हैं जब मैं छोटा था ना learning judo or judo. What is the point of judo? He's coming at you at full force. You take
Use his force.
movement and you get him and overthrow him. That's what Reagan did, and that's what I demonstrated. The way in which you can do it. You see, he didn't crack a joke. He had a lot of jokes. In his private party, he was full of jokes. But whenever he was in a public space, he was trying to see how can I make this humorous without just saying he told a good joke. He made the point. Did he make his point? I will not let his inexperience. अरे क्या marvelous यार उसने ऐसा जुड़ो कर दिया उसके ऊपर. That fellow would never open his mouth after that. On age, बोलती बंद कर दिया forever. That guy Mondale never brought up age because he said this guy is going to make an ass of me. Because he learned how to do it. You get my point. Same way, you can look at whatever. Yeah. Even if you are telling a story, like this person, what's his name? Something. Brian Stevenson got the longest standing applause, but for a different reason. There's another guy who was talking about education. Brian Stevenson, longest.
Ken Robinson.
Huh?
Ken Robinson.
Yes, I think that's the guy
Ken
talking about
Robinson.
education.
Yeah, yeah.
Education in
Correct?
China.
That was the guy.
Sir Ken
Strong
Robinson.
education in China.
That's right. One of the most viewed
TED Talk.
TED Talks.
TED Talks.
Yeah.
Though it was on education, the most boring of
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
boring.
yeah.
You start to say education, what do you know? Oh, I'm an educator. So I'll just go
Sir
and
Ken
get-
Robinson.
I'll
Sir
just
Ken
go and get,
Robinson.
I'll go and get a
Most
thing.
watched TED Talk.
ये सारा टीचर है अभी मेरा झिझक है ये. You follow me? You don't want to hear about education, the most very troublesome, and everybody's got a.
It's Paisa Vasool 15 minutes of your
Yeah.
life if you haven't watched.
Ken
Ken Robinson.
Ken
Ken
Robinson.
Ken Robinson.
K-N.
K-E-N.
K-E-N.
Sir Ken Robinson.
Sir
Is
Ken.
no more,
I'm
but
glad.
Yeah, he passed away last year.
I know, but I'm glad they're on the same
Yes.
wavelength. You also, you know,
Yeah.
you should hear it. And what does he do? He talks about it all humans. He said, I came from England. I used to stay near Stratford and Avon, and which is where Shakespeare had his plays and there. And the actual village was where Shakespeare's Mr. Shakespeare senior father used to live. He came from there. And he says, you know, but I can just imagine that father going to his son and saying, William, you've not done your English homework. You're going to be a dunderhead. You're going to be terrible in your English. Correct? So he makes a joke of it how Shakespeare to be, you know, fail in English and all it, because the humanist thought, yeah, but he took the fact that he lived there, made it personal. I lived that in that town. And then he says, father would have been like, yeah. You know, in the course of his talk, he just said this. Another thing he's saying about that kid, teacher goes and says, because his teacher and kid, what he gave an example, gave an exercise. Everybody, draw your idea of God.
Idea
Of God. No, draw something interesting. So, see, what are you drawing? I'm drawing God. You're drawing God? Yeah, I'm drawing God. But nobody has seen God. Nobody knows what God looks like. Now they will. Now they will. See, talking about something on education and how kids want creativity. He could have taken that talk any which way from there, maybe on creative things.
So,
but see how humanists.
Again, I just watched something today morning.
Yes.
There is this lady asking that there is this kid, really small kid, 3-5 years old kid, telling her mom, let's go to McDonald's today. So mom says, okay, if you can spell McDonald's, I'll take you today. Let's go to KFC.
Yeah.
A 4 or 5 year old kid,
Yeah.
10-second video.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those who understand it, understand it. There are
Yeah.
some people who will say, "To."
What? Right. Yes.
The 4-5-year-old kid saying, let's go to KFC because he cannot spell
Spell
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Where are you from? Andhra Pradesh. No, I'm from Goa.
Yes. Anyway, so I think this can go on and on. You have been a great audience. I want to say thank
You have been a great speaker.
I was waiting for that hand.
That's the only way. You know, I'm telling you about Bain. I had told them, whenever I raise my hand and ask you a question, you will have to say yes. What will you say? Yes. Was this the best speech you have ever heard? Yes. What, will you give me a standing ovation after this? Yes. Yes. So if they don't get up, you make them get up. That's what you do.
Thank you for making them get up for me. Thank you very much. And
That's what you do.
in parting, I want to say that don't walk away like this. Normally at the end of a training or a workshop event, you do a recap. Okay? So I would like you all quickly to say what did we demonstrate, what things. Try and recap and each one say something different if you can. Why? So that we do a quick revision, which is what the bullet point they say at the end of it, sum up.
Yes.
So my summing up, I know that you picked up something
Yeah.
if you do it. You don't want to start, what is there's so many things that got demonstrated,
Yeah.
right? Because truly a good workshop, I hope. And if it was,
Yeah.
then you should be able to say some of the things that
Yes.
maybe you did it, some of them.
Yeah, sure. So some of the things which I
One
picked
thing.
up.
Let everybody say
thing,
one. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing.
Yeah, so mental map or mental visualization while
Yes.
doing the speech
Yes.
is one
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Talking your walk,
Talking.
that's the short form for it. You want to say something?
Come, pump yourself with energy and on the stage.
Yes,
Not this place.
Right.
You have to connect, because if you are not energetic, you cannot connect.
That's right.
So if you're full of energy, that energy will get transferred.
perfect. Bigger?
Humor.
Okay, great. Yeah. Wonderful.
Jumping.
Somehow work your talk with enough humor to keep people.
You know, many a time humor and sarcasm, the line is very, very thin between those two. If you are sarcastic, a lot of people will not pick up what you are saying. If you just make it a little bit clearer, then it becomes humorous to all.
For me, the loop
The loop.
Yes, very good.
is very, very interesting to think.
Keeping the loop open. Yeah.
Keeping the loop open. That's very, very powerful.
Yeah, very
What we
powerful.
call it.
Yes.
Saurabh,
Walk the talk. Mental man.
नहीं, she already said. no.
अच्छा।
और कोई
हमको और कुछ होता है.
Yes.
You mean that jaw dropping moment? I can
Ah,
have something like
yes, yes,
Ah.
yes,
extend the
yes.
vision.
Extend
Yeah,
your-
Extend division.
Yeah,
That is
vision.
what you want
Yeah.
for your
Yes.
audience.
Audience.
Not for you, for your audience. You want to take them into a newer place that expands their thinking. And that is what your talk is going to do. And if you know how to deliver your talk, you will achieve that. कि मैं यहाँ पे
Stretch.
था, and now this man
Stretch.
has stretched me.
Yes.
Saurabh, कुछ सोच के बोल. इतना डेमो हो गया आप भी.
हाथ भी दुखने लग गया
अरे
from that
ट्राइपॉड
time.
लाना चाहिए. You need one special massage for the hand.
No,
From that time he's holding it.
सोच के बोल. One thing that you took away on the demos and the learning. Because-
Actually, all these things, but walk the talk was something which just got
Okay.
imprinted in my
I
mind.
see. Okay.
That I don't usually, know
Talk
the
the
stage.
walk, no, walk the
Talk the
talk.
walk. Talk the walk.
Yeah.
Walk the talk that you do in your life.
Yeah, that you do.
Whichever
What you do
way,
in your life.
basically what I realized that helped because people get a little.
Yeah,
they get
yeah, we
wondering,
forget our points.
Where do I start? Where do
Where do I
I
start?
Actually,
Yeah.
somebody gave us
Walking around
another
like-
tip. I was listening, I forgot the name of the speaker. He said there's another thing that you can do, especially for people who forget. He says, use your body.
Yes.
Sir के लिए कुछ, forehead के लिए कुछ,
हाँ.
nose is something, your mouth. So
Actually-
always when you touch your head,
Yes.
you know this is what you're going to talk about. When you touch your nose,
Yes.
this is what you're going to talk about. So break your script. So wherever you go, your body is there with you. So use that.
Perfect. Very good.
Walk the walk.
Because this is the science of mnemonics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The art of remembering things. And people do it by linking numbers also. 1 is this, 2 is this, 3 is this. It's up to you. Alphabets, you can start with A, B, C and somehow make A, attraction, B, something else, boredom, whatever the thing is. But to get it in that order is very important.
Yes. And I like the idea what you say because I completely believe and do that,
Or
Go to that place beforehand,
Yes.
see the stage,
Yes, that's
plan it
Trevor
out.
Noah, Trevor Noah, Bangalore, what happened?
So maybe,
Exactly.
maybe I'll
वो
take
अभी
that
last just 15 दिन पहले Trevor Noah had come to Bangalore to perform and huge problem
Starting के
मतलब
पहले
venue wasn't
सब
proper,
कुछ
seating
ठीक
wasn't
है,
proper,
AC चल रहा है,
speakers weren't proper, they had to cancel the show and refund the money. So huge fiasco,
Bangalore.
huge fiasco,
Very
just
good.
because of
Look at the
this.
stage.
Thank you very much.
One day before if you would have won.
Mine is still remaining. Mine is still remaining.
Yours?
आप फोन करके बता.
क्या है?
Just finished it.
उनका point नहीं बोले.
So you have to show rather than tell.
Correct.
Yes. So,
Story showing.
story show.
Story showing.
Is there in my list and I'm sorry.
So the delivery is 100% more important than the content.
Always. But there can't be delivery unless there is good content.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like a marriage.
There is preset, no? It's a
Many things
preset.
are like marriage. Life is like a marriage.
Life is-
Things is like a marriage.
But I-
Everything is like a
but
marriage.
I would-
Yeah.
Only-
Yeah, photo first.
And the way
First,
you
first.
use visual
Yeah.
Photo. It's so
Yeah,
much.
that's exactly
on
what
the
it is.
treadmill.
Yeah.
Photo.
Very-
Showing
Photo.
Ready.
Ready. Photo.
Show the book.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Very good.
आपके लिए